Hi guys, this is Adam, and this tutorial will be about the Blender 2.65a. If you go to a website blender.org/download/getblender, you get the latest version of Blender for each platform, so Windows 32-bit, 64, Linux, Mac, and so on. So go back to our Blender, and this is the first default scene you're gonna see once you start using Blender. And you can see there's a free objects by default. Is a camera, cube, and lamp. So by default, to select an object, it's a right click on an object. You can also select an object from the panel view by left click on the name of the object. We can rename the object by just left clicking, double click. Let's say cube 1 or something like that. So if, for example, we want to rotate an object, simply press R on your keyboard, and now we can freely rotate the object. It's a bit mess, so for example we can lock the rotation. We have three axes, so it's Z axis, Y, and X, which is represented by the red arrow. So if we want to, for example, rotate an object only on the X axis, just press R, then X, and as you can see, we are rotating this object only on the X axis. And to confirm the rotation is a left click. But for example, if you don't want to do something with that, so just RX, and let's say you want to cancel that, so you want to go back to the position that it was before, it's a right click. So as you can see, your cube will go back to the initial rotation. Right. For example, if we want to grab an object and move the object, we can just press G, and we can freely move the object on the scene. Same principle here. If we, for example, want to move it only on the Z axis, just press G and type Z. As you can see, the object is moving only on the Z axis. If you want to duplicate an object, it's a Shift D, and we have exactly the same object that came from our cube. By default, the name of an object, so for example, if we put the object here, the name of the object by default will be cube1.001. If we duplicate once again, it's going to be cube1.002. Of course, you can easily change those names by saying just cube2. So if you duplicate lots of objects, it's a good thing to just rename them straight away. Let's say, for example, if we want to duplicate object on the Z axis, but only on 5 Blender units, you just press Shift D, Z, and 5, and left click. So as you can see, we duplicate the object on the 5 Blender units. Very important thing to notice is the views you're gonna be working with. So at the moment we have a user perspective. So as you can see now, we can freely rotate by just pressing the middle mouse button, and we can rotate in our scene. If you want to zoom in, zoom out, it's a middle mouse scroll. If we want to lock our scroll, just simply press Shift and middle mouse, and then you lock rotation. And if you want to change the view, as you can see now we have user perspective. If you want to go to Orthographic View, we just press 5. So switch on your num lock, and something doesn't work. So press 5. We are now in the user orthographic. If we press, for example, 1, we go to the front orthographic view. So we have only Z axis and X axis. If we press 3, we have right view. 7 is for the top. If we want to go, for example, to a bottom view, we just press Ctrl and 7, and we go to the bottom view. If we want to go to now we have a front ortho. By pressing the 1, we have a front orthographic view. If you want to go to the back orthographic view, it's just simply Ctrl 1, and the same with 3. So 3, press 3, you have a right orthographic. To get a left, Ctrl left. Simple as that. Now this is a very basic scene, so if we want to render the scene, you just press F12, that's a shortcut to render scene, and we render the scene. As you can see, well, we didn't have too much control over that. So to gain some control how the scene will look on the rendering, you just have to select the camera, and from camera just press 0 on your numlock, and this is the view that we're gonna see in our camera. So this is what's gonna be rendered. If we, for example, want to move the camera a bit to the back, well, we can move the camera, freely move the camera like we are moving our scene. So just to move the camera, just press G, and we can, well, move the camera. If you want to rotate the camera, just press R. If we want to, for example, lock the rotation to Z axis, as you can see, it's a bit different now. If we want to zoom the camera, it's a double Z, so ZZ, and then we can move our mouse. So I think that's a good good representation of what we're gonna see in our render view. So press F12 once again, and now we can see the 3 cubes. Obviously, the lighting at this point is a bit awkward, so we can modify our lamp. So as we can see, the camera is, if we go to top view by pressing the 7, this is our camera, and the light is point is over here. So we can move our light to be exactly in the same, maybe just in front of the camera somewhere here. And what we can also do, if we go to the lamp properties and so click the object data, we can change the type of the lamp. So we can have a sun, we can have a point light, we can change the color. So let's say change it to red color, increase some energy, and just render the scene once again, so the lights will be simply red.